Throughout history, wealth has not only built empires but preserved them across centuries. From ancient dynasties to modern billionaires, the true secret of wealth is not just making it, but keeping it. Generational wealth, the kind that echoes through time, is rarely spoken of openly. It is hidden in traditions, systems, and strategies passed quietly from one generation to the next. Today, we uncover the forgotten secrets of generational wealth through history, the principles that turned families into dynasties, and ideas that remain just as powerful in the modern age. And before we begin, if you're fascinated by the timeless lessons of prosperity and how history still shapes wealth today, make sure you subscribe to the Echoes of Wealth and join us on this journey through the stories and strategies that continue to influence generations. The Ancient Blueprint. Our story begins in the ancient world. The pharaohs of Egypt didn't just amass gold, they created continuity. Temples and tombs were more than monuments, they were financial strongholds. Gold, grain, and land passed from ruler to ruler, reinforcing the dynasty's power. In Mesopotamia, clay tablets recorded debt, contracts, and inheritance laws. These were not mere scribbles, they were the foundation of wealth preservation. The wealthy landowning families ensured that their estates and their influence never scattered. Meanwhile, in China, dynasties like the Han understood that wealth meant little without order. They built family structures where trade secrets, land rights, and scholarly education were deliberately passed on. The strategy was simple: invest in the future minds of the family, not just the present riches. The ancient blueprint was clear: real wealth was not about today's riches, but tomorrow's inheritance. The Roman legacy. The Roman Empire refined the rules of generational wealth. Their secret weapon was law. Roman inheritance codes ensured that estates transitioned smoothly across generations. Land, the backbone of wealth, was tied tightly to family lines. But Romans also innovated with trusts and early forms of corporations. Wealthy families shielded assets within legal structures, protecting them against taxes and confiscation. Even when Rome fell, the concept of structured inheritance lived on, shaping European systems for centuries. Their legacy teaches us that legal frameworks, contracts, wills, and structures are as vital to generational wealth as gold itself. The medieval dynasties. In the medieval era, power shifted from emperors to noble families. Castles were not just fortresses, they were symbols of continuity. Here, the secret was land and title. The feudal system locked vast estates under family control, ensuring wealth could not be broken apart by multiple heirs. The eldest son inherited nearly everything, a system known as primogeniture. Harsh, but effective. Yet outside the nobility, merchant families discovered another path. In Venice, Florence, and beyond, merchant dynasties like the Medici wielded influence through banking, art patronage, and clever marriages. They invested in reputation and invisible currency that outlasted wars and borders. The lesson of the medieval dynasties is clear. Generational wealth is not only preserved by resources, but by systems, networks, and alliances. The age of trade and empires, the age of exploration reshaped wealth forever. Families that controlled trade routes built dynasties that stretched across continents. The Dutch East India Company, backed by powerful families, became the world's first multinational corporation. Generational wealth now had a new tool. Equity. Shares and ownership stakes allowed families to multiply wealth without labor. By passing ownership from one generation to the next, they built fortunes not tied to land alone. At the same time, colonial empires exported raw wealth, spices, silver, and slaves, but the families who endured were those who reinvested. They built banks, funded industries, and laid the groundwork for capitalism itself. The age of trade revealed a crucial truth: wealth preserved is wealth diversified. The industrial titans. The Industrial Revolution gave rise to new dynasties. Rockefeller, Carnegie, Vanderbilt, Rothschild, these names became synonymous with enduring wealth. Their strategies were modern echoes of ancient secrets. Rockefeller locked wealth in trusts, ensuring it survived long after his death. Carnegie invested in education and libraries, cementing legacy. The Rothschilds spread their wealth across Europe, using family loyalty and discretion as shields. They knew the power of reinvestment, diversification, and philanthropy, not as charity, but as a means to fortify their wealth and reputation. Modern lessons. What, then, are the hidden secrets of generational wealth through history? Structure has always been essential. From Roman law to Rockefeller's trusts, wealth endures when it is legally protected. Education has been another constant. From Chinese dynasties to Carnegie, investing in the next generation's minds ensures the torch is carried forward. Networks matter as much as assets. From the Medicis to the Rothschilds, alliances and reputation amplify wealth across time. And wealth that endures is always diversified, from merchant traders to industrial titans. Those who adapted survived. Perhaps most importantly, legacy shapes the endurance of wealth. Across history, we see that true dynasties measure their fortunes not just in money, but in influence, reputation, and continuity. When we study history, we see that money alone never lasts. Gold tarnishes, empires fall, markets crash. But systems, knowledge, and legacy endure. The echoes of wealth are not just about inheritance, they're about the principles that shape it. Principles that, if we listen carefully, can still guide us today. And if you want to continue exploring the timeless strategies and stories that history has left behind, don't forget to subscribe to the Echoes of Wealth. Because the lessons of the past are not just echoes, they are blueprints for the future.